Hi, I'm Josh,
Hey, I'm Adrian.
and today we have more Big Brother tea to spill.
And today we are spilling on episode 17, which brings us to the nomination ceremony. It actually brings us to the HOH comps because the live show didn't give us the HOH comp. So we have HOH comp nominations, new comp, the High Rollers room, all in one episode. So it was kind of a very busy episode.
Yeah.
So this episode starts right at the beginning of the HOH competition, which is one of those famous, you win, you get to choose who's next, and it's like a knockout competition.
Mm-hmm.
We start off by Kylan saying that he doesn't want to win HOH because he knows that the cookout is going to target Sarah Beth and he won't nominate her, and he doesn't want to be pressured into nominating her. Then we see Tiffany, on the other hand, wants to win the competition, wants anybody else except Kylan to win because she knows he won't put her up, and that's their target. So we see this HOH comp start. It's normal. It's nothing too really exciting. The only thing that I did see kind of interesting is that the players were making very smart moves. They were targeting people that are obvious duos together.
Well, so smart moves, but also very obvious moves. Because who was the first one? Was it Britney, the one that made the first one, or?
Right. So the first people that went up was Claire and Britney. Claire answers the question wrong. Britney wins, and Britney automatically chooses Kylan and Sarah Beth because obviously they're a duo. People know this.
But that's stupid. Honestly, that's stupid.
No,
I wouldn't have done that.
I don't see it as stupid. I would.
I see that. I wouldn't. Not if I was Britney. Like if I was someone else, then maybe. But I'm just over her. She's not very strategic. And that's not a strategic move to me.
It is a strategic move.
I see what she's doing, but I don't think that, like, obviously, like both of those people that she just named, they have more of an influence in the house than she does.
Exactly, which is why she targeted them.
Right, so, but it's just so obvious, though. I don't like the obviousness of it. That's just my opinion. I don't think that was a smart move on her end, especially because she's like not even like a target. By doing that, she's kind of making herself a target in a way. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not.
I mean, I see where you're coming from there, but I would have done it too. Like, I think she made a really smart choice. However, I know that Kylan and Sarah Beth are some of my favorites. They're a duo, and in her mind, if I looked at it the way she was looking at it, I do think that she made a good
move. There's ways to make it more subtle. I think that she was just like, I just want to, like, it's just so obvious that they're like a duo, and it's like, okay, well, sure, to you. I don't know. I just don't think she should have done that. She should have like maybe picked one of them, and then because then she got eliminated. So like, I guess what I mean by strategic is like, if you're gonna do that, then make sure that they don't come for you afterwards, because whoever wins that little challenge right there is gonna come after you after. And then they did, and then she was eliminated. So it's kind of like, was that really strategic? Not really.
I don't know. I even wrote down in my notes that players are making their choices very smart. So, I mean, we have different opinions on that, which is fine. I know that Kylan turns around and puts her up against Azah, and she ends up losing.
Right.
But at that exact moment when she did that choice, I do think that it was smart. But we're gonna move on. We reach a certain point in time on the HOH comp where Azah tells Kylan, hey, I really want this win. This is my competition to win. Let me win. But Kylan knows deep down they're gonna come after Sarah Beth.
Right.
Like, they're gonna come after her. So he does not back down and ultimately beats her to answering the question, and he knocks her out of the competition, which pisses Azah off.
Well, okay, so first of all, Azah doesn't have that influence. Again, it goes back to the influence factor, because Tiffany has more influence than Azah does. Sarah Beth has more influence than Azar does. Kylan's not going to listen to Azar just because Azar says that she wants to win. Simple as that. Azar can throw as many fits as she wants. She's not going to get her way because she does not have influence. She doesn't. All she does is just cry and complain and say how she's emotional. Okay, we're in Big Brother, so who gives a fuck? I'm over Azar. Like, I'm so over her.
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm over her. Tell. Yeah, I'm over her.
So, Kylan ultimately kicks her out of the competition. She's upset. Then we see something that we've been seeing kind of become like a trend in the season that really annoys me. Xavier gets chosen to go up against Tiffany, I believe. I don't even know, but he throws the competition, like, just because he doesn't want the power. I'm over the whole thing of players throwing competitions in this game.
I think it's also though because I think Xavier is scared of Tiffany. Like, he's scared of her. Like,
no, I think he's just generally just scared of power.
Maybe, but I think he's also just scared of Tiffany because he's like, I don't want to upset her, and then it's just going to create more of a problem in the future than I need. So like he'd rather just throw it because, I mean, to be fair, Tiffany is going to throw a fit whenever she's like Azar, but like magnified. Like, both Tiffany and Azar are emotional players, so they don't get their way, they're going to throw a fit. But Tiffany's more scary when it comes to that fit because she will probably like go crazy and she'll start like talking and all that stuff. Like, all Azar's going to do is just cry and be like, why did you let me win, kind of thing. Like, okay, who cares? But Tiffany is going to go like and talk to them and be like, why did you like not let me win? Like, it's my turn, blah, blah. Because even she said it like towards the end, like, she's like, this is my HOH, blah, blah, blah. And like, to be fair, Kylan tried, but.
And I don't like that. I don't like that because I'm thinking of Sarah Beth. Had she won HOH, it would be kind of guaranteed that Sarah Beth would have been on the block again. Right. So I was kind of glad that she answered the question wrong. And I'm kind of glad that she is the one that fucked up because that way she's not coming after Kylie either because she's the one that ultimately fucked up. Right. But going back to the whole Xavier throwing comps, like, I'm over it. Like, at this point, if you don't want to be there to compete and try to win the challenges, go the fuck home. Like, it's part of the game. Winning and making tough decisions is part of this game. And if you're scared to do it, go the fuck home. Go to jury. Like,
yep.
Then again, we have another plea, which we already kind of touched on. Tiffany wants to win the veto. She said she wants a letter from her kids. She tries to use that as
the HOH,
leverage.
The HOH.
Right, I'm sorry. The HOH.
Yeah, the HOH. Yes.
I even wrote veto, but my bad. So she tells Kylan that, I mean, she really wants that letter from her kids. She really wants to win the HOH. He kind of agrees. He doesn't say yes. He makes a comment like, don't make me look like the idiot or something like that, or like the fool or something. Ultimately, he doesn't answer, and Tiffany answers incorrectly, so it made him HOH anyways. Best case scenario for Sarah Beth at this point. There's a lot of things that happen, but up to this point, best case scenario for Sarah Beth.
Right.
Right after the HOH comp, we see the confessionals. Tiffany is very upset with herself because she's the one that lost, made her lose the HOH competition, but she's also very salty and mad at the back of the fact that Kylan is HOH because it's going to ruin her plans. Like, I know she's playing the game for herself, but hearing her say, my plan, like, this isn't your game. Like, other people are playing their games too.
I just think that's so dumb though. Honestly, like, I feel like it's like the dumbest thing ever because she was kind of handed the HOH by Kylan and then she fucked it up. That's not Kylan's fault. That's not anybody's fault. That's your fault. And this is why you're not a good game player, because when it matters for you to win, you don't win, then oh wow. Oh fucking wow. Like, Kylan like just proved himself to be 1,000% much better of a game player than she will ever be. in this game because he was like, if I win or not, I'm still safe.
Right.
And Tiffany fucked it up. That's Tiffany's fault. There's really no territory for Tiffany to feel upset about anything. You lost, girl. Sorry. Bye.
Right. He tried helping you out. Like,
yep.
And you fucked it up. And then we go, like the episode continues going on, and we get taken into a room where Azza is talking to, I believe it's Xavier, and she basically knows Britney is probably going to get sent home. She's going to be put on the block. She doesn't want that to happen. She has a really good connection with Britney. Basically, upset over Britney being a possible nomination.
Right.
It is what it is. Like you are part of this alliance that you know they're eventually going to come for her. Why are you so emotional? You signed up to be part of that alliance. Like, it is what it is. You know. So again, I see where you say where you're done with Azah, because she is kind of becoming a Britney. Like they're becoming like the same people, emotional,
way worse
all the time.
She's worse because she's trying to guilt trip Kylan for winning and doing what's best for him. And that's like
right,
even
she
the
goes
worst.
to the HOH room and she's like, I want to talk about this Veto or this HOH competition and how you didn't let me win. Oh well.
Bitch, what game are you playing? You're delusional. That's what it is. Like if you think that he was just gonna hand you this episode was really like pivotal in the sense that Kylan, I think, is gonna realize that both Tiffany and Azar are only thinking about themselves. And that if things don't go their way, they're just gonna throw fits. And it's just so ridiculous. Like, Kylan isn't here to be your hero. Kylan is here to win. So you can't blame him for winning. He tried to lose multiple times and he still won. So that's just more points for him and less points for you. Go home, girl. Go try a different game. Sorry. You have to go.
Right. So then right after that, Derek F goes into the HOH room. He's talking to Kylan. He makes a really big mistake. And he tells Kylan that people are starting to associate him as a duo, like kind of like an Alyssa Christian type duo with Sarah Beth, so that it would be in his best interest if he nominated her, which that's all like trying to like convince him to put Sarah Beth, because he knows the cookout wants Sarah Beth on the block.
No.
And he kind of dismisses that. He's like, whatever, and tells him that his order of targets is Claire first, then Alyssa, then Britney, which I like Claire and Britney as part of his targets. I don't know how I feel about Alyssa being one of his targets just yet, because Alyssa is growing on me and I kind of want to see what she does without Christian. So
well, yeah. So I think the only reason why Kylan was saying that though is because he wants to make sure that the cookout is still kind of intact. Like, I mean, this is what I've been saying since like day one. Kylan is very smart in reading the house, and he knows where he stands. He knows where his group is. He knows his other people. You know, he's close with Alyssa. He's close with Sarah Beth. People have already picked up that he's close with Sarah Beth. And he himself knows that he's close with Alyssa, but he doesn't want to give that away. So he's like, yeah, of course, Alyssa's a target because, you know, whatever. But is he really wanting to target Alyssa? Absolutely not.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I don't really think that he's actually going to take a shot at Alyssa.
He won't.
But we'll see. Then we see Tiffany and Xavier talking. And she's kind of telling him that she knows Kylan is not going to put up Sarah Beth. She knows that Claire is probably going to be his target and that she's not okay with that. So now it's starting to come out. It's starting to come out like when things don't work out for Tiffany, that's when she has a problem with it. Like, okay, so you want to target other people's other people's players, but when they target you, you have an issue with it. Like, I don't like that. Like, play the game the way you're playing, even when it's against you. Um, then she kind of, this is where I get confused with Tiffany, because she kind of makes a comment about her being closer to the people outside of the six versus the people in the six, and how her game would be different had the cookout not been established. So what I'm confused about is, does she want to step out of the cookout, or what is the deal? Why would she say that?
She's just trying. She knows that she's probably like in trouble at this point. She knows. She thought that she had Kylan under her wing, and that she probably thought that she had Xavier under her wing. And now that she's kind of like, and she thought that she had Derek F under her wing, but she does not. So now that she's kind of starting to see where the cracks are, she's worried, and she knows that Kylan isn't doing your dirty work anymore. He never really was. You thought that he was, but he honestly never was. Derek F,
Right.
same thing. He never really was. You're in trouble. Oh well, sorry. You thought that you were gonna run them, but you don't.
This is when we see right after that. This is when we see Azah go into the HOH room, and she's confronting Kylan about the whole process of elimination, why he kept targeting her during the HOH comp. They start giving each other kind of like an attitude back and forth. She's giving more attitude than him. He's trying to be a little bit more like understanding of her, and she's just not having it. So he gets to the point where he's like, I'm not going to talk to you unless you drop the attitude. Like, we need to reset this whole conversation. This is going nowhere. And Azah right after that goes into a DR confessional, and she says that he has the cookout in mind, but that she's not being heard and that her feelings are valid. We get it, but you aren't the HOH. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Like you said,
it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Like you said, she's just trying to guilt trip him and for not giving her the veto. It's all it is. Kylan really doesn't read into it much. Moves on. Right after that, he talks to Claire, which Claire goes into a confessional, and I feel like this is like kind of a little bit of damage control, like freaking out type moment, because she says that she hasn't talked to Kylan in about 2 weeks, doesn't know where he stands, and that she's not comfortable with him being HOH. So in order to remain off the block, she tells him that she will vote his way, and that she'll vote his way and do whatever he wants. So Kylan then responds with, who would you target? Which she says that she would have nominated Derek F and Xavier, just 2 random people, which are 2 people in the cookout. So this rubs Kylan the wrong way, and I lost my train of thought. So this rubs Kylan the wrong way, and says that he's going to target her just because she's eventually going to go after people from the cookout. So Kylan says that that he's not going to nominate them. Says that he's not worried about Britney. This is when he's talking to Derek F. He says that he's not worried about Britney. Derek F isn't either. Derek kind of suggests to put up Alyssa, and then to put up SB as a pawn, which I think Kylan kind of finds is amusing because he kind of laughs in his face.
Amusing, like it's more comedic. Like, why would he put Alyssa and Sarah? This is the last 2 people that he would ever put up.
Yeah, so I think to get him back because he even says, I'm not going to do that. Like, that.
Right.
And he goes, so at that point is whenever he asks Derek F to be a pawn for him, which surprisingly, Derek F agrees to be the pawn. And it's only to save Britney and Azah from seeing the block, because they know that they're emotional and that they would ruin up every single one of the plans.
Yep. Some of these players, I think Kylan kind of got them a little bit with this HOH because they're thinking that he's gonna back them up with certain things, and it's like Kylan hasn't really been like 1,000% with the cookout. In case you haven't noticed, he has other people on his end, and the fact that you think that he's gonna support you guys 1,000% for everything that you say is like so delusional, especially for like Tiffany and like Derek and us all.
Right.
Like, and we've been kind of saying this for like the longest time. Like Xavier and Kylan, like they have their own little thing, especially Kylan. Kylan agreed to be part of this alliance, but that doesn't mean that he was. Until today, he hasn't really proven that he's like, I'm only thinking of the Cookout Alliance. I haven't even seen him say that. I've seen Xavier say that. I've seen Tiffany say that.
But
I've seen
he
Derek
is
say
making
that.
moves for the cookout, though.
To an extent, but he's not fully doing it just for the cookout. He's doing it for himself too. That's why he's not.
No,
putting
he
Sarah
has
Sarah.
said that he's gonna. He has said that he's gonna choose the cookout.
I don't think so. I don't
Yes, he
think
has.
so.
He said it.
Okay.
He said that he has a final two with Sarah Beth, but at the very end of the day, he's gonna choose the cookout.
Okay, but he said it. Doesn't mean that he's gonna do it. Anybody can say that. I don't think he's gonna follow through with that.
No, I think he was being honest about it.
I don't think so. I disagree with that because a final five is not going to get you to the final two. Sorry, it's not. So you have to think about like, okay, so do you have a final? Because he doesn't have a final two. I don't, as long as unless I'm like seeing something like wrong or something, he doesn't have a final two with anyone from the cookout. He has a final two with Sarah Beth. Like if I have a final two with Sarah Beth, I'm gonna go with Sarah Beth for the final two. I'm not gonna go with why would I go for a final five alliance to the final? Like there's literally no way you can get to a final with a final five agreement. So why not break it up as soon as you can? Derek X already took the shot at the Royal Flush. Why can't Kylan take the shot at it? And he did.
But he's not.
He will. I'm telling you,
I don't think he will.
I think he will. We will find out.
I don't.
Yeah.
He will not take a shot at the final two because that's the whole reason he didn't want to become HOH this time around, because he knew he was going to have to go against the Royal Flush. I mean the Cookout Alliance.
Right,
but he was given the HOH. Now he doesn't have a choice, and he's not doing what the Cookout wants. But he is like trying to find nominations that will make the Cookout happy. So he's still thinking of it.
We're seeing it different because I mean there's only so much you can do. I mean the Cookout Alliance is 5 out of 11 people. Like there's really limited room as to what you can do.
But like, okay, we're going to continue because right after this is nominations. So they do nominations in the middle of the episode versus at the end. Right. So we see that he nominates Derek F, which we already know he's going up as a pawn, and Claire. Now let's talk about that because you're saying that he would take a shot at the cookout. He's still doing the cookout's dirty work. He put up Claire that is not part of the cookout.
So okay, but so why did he decide to put up Derek F as a pawn? Just because Derek F agreed
because he needed the cookout to be happy with him. He didn't want to piss them off. Which is why he said, I need somebody. He said, I need somebody that's working with me to go up as a pawn to not make the Cookout Alliance mad. Because if he nominated one of the cookouts just without having permission, he would have pissed everybody off. And he's still worried about the cookout. That's why I'm saying he's not going to go against the cookout. If he was going to go against the cookout, he would have done it this time without finding a solution and making him look good at the end of the day.
I don't agree with it, but okay.
Okay. So right after that, I mean, we see the reactions to the nominations. Sarah, Azah, and Britney are like confused. They're asking Derek F how he's feeling. He's telling them that's fine. Derek F tells us, the viewers, that he's not going to tell them that that he went up as a pawn because they're liars and they're very emotional and they can't lie. So to protect what the plan, he's just going to make it seem like he is a regular nominee.
But see, that already in itself is already a crack, though. why does he need to lie to Azal about the actual plan? That's a crack.
Because
It,
it is a crack.
it is a
But
crack.
I
So
see why
that's
he's
what I'm
doing
saying. I do too, but that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Kylan isn't thinking about the Cookout Alliance anymore. He's trying to find the crack. No, he's trying to find the cracks in the alliance, and by doing so, let's be real. Kylan, Xavier, and Tiffany are like the main ones of that alliance. Like hands down, no one can debate it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And then we have Hannah, maybe like in between. Then we have Derek F and Azal at the end of that alliance. Why do you think Derek F went up? Just because he agreed to it? They're playing Kylan's game at this point because he is like, okay, you agreed to it, I'm gonna put you up. Kylan wants to win. Come on.
We see two different games right now.
I think so too, because Kylan he might pretend like he's caring about this alliance, but he really just wants to win. And that's fair.
I do think that he's thinking of the alliance.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that he's just thinking about himself, on how to position himself within the house so that way he's not nominated.
We see it differently, but we're going to continue moving on because we're getting to a point where we're just not agreeing and we need to move on from the situation.
Right.
So again, back to the reactions to the nominations. Tiffany goes up to Claire and she tells her, hey, you have my vote to stay. Like, she then goes into the DR and says, I know that Claire leaving is not good for my game. So I'm going to try to find a way to keep Claire in the house. So then we go into commercial break. When we come back is when we find out that the high rollers room is opened up. They give them their choices. It's basically whoever plays the only game today, which is the Veto Derby. If whoever plays gets to bet on who will win the power of veto. And if the person does win, then they get a second veto. So the people who end up playing the Veto Derby, which is the only one available, is Sarah Beth, Kylan, Tiffany, Claire, and Derek F. Now, at the very end, there was only 4 winners because Tiffany kind of knocks all of her little. But basically, what they had to do is they had like this little drink-looking thing, and then they had to slide it down a table. The table had like number of points, and then they would add them up. Tiffany knocks all 3 of hers off the table, so she's DQ'd. She doesn't even get a chance to vote for anybody. So Kylan, Claire, Derek F, and Sarah Beth are the ones that are going to be choosing and betting on a veto player. And so we don't find out any more about this competition until next episode when the veto actually happens. So this has a potential to make the game really messy, just because there's going to be 2 vetoes potentially.
And it also answers some questions about who's playing. So you said Kylan, of course, is going to play because he's the HOH. He wants to retain the power. Claire is going to play because she's nominated, so she has to retain the power. Derek F as well. And then who was the last one? Was it Azal?
No, it was Sarah Beth plays.
Sarah Beth.
And Sarah Beth says that she wants the power used because once the power is used, it can't be used in the future. So she plays, and then Tiffany plays as well, but Tiffany DQs.
Right. So again, so Sarah Beth and Tiffany, they're playing because they want to make sure that their plans go as they need to, which is good. But it also kind of shows Kylan who is on his corner. So like now he's like, okay, hold on. So why are Sarah Beth and Tiffany playing when they should both feel safe-ish? Well, because they don't feel safe. So that kind of just, I feel like some of these games, like they kind of just are meant to also just kind of mess with like the players' minds, just to see like, okay, if you feel safe, then you shouldn't really play. But the fact that you're playing, it kind of tells you like, okay, they're feeling some type of way, and that's why they have to play. Because I mean, if let's say like I was close with Kylan, just in general, like I'd be like, okay, I don't have to play. I'm good. He's not gonna put me up. I'm fine. But some of these people, they feel threatened by something that might be going on, and that's why they have to play it. And I
And I
think
see where you're
Kylan,
coming from, but
I think
again,
Kylan
I
is
see
keeping
it
track of
differently.
Tiffany. I really hope that Tiffany is like blindsided this round. Like that would be amazing. Like if somehow one of the nominees is able to win veto, and then he has to put up Tiffany and she's gone, like that would be perfect. Because she's so toxic. Like I'm so tired of her.
I don't see that happening either. This is an episode where we're just not agreeing with each other. I do want that to happen. However, I don't. You deep down think that he's going to take a shot at the Cookout Alliance, and he's just not. But I would like for it to happen. I really would love for it to happen. It's not going to happen. So the episode ends with the results. We already know who's going to be voting for the potential second veto. The last thing that kind of happens in the episode is Tiffany tells Confessional that she's going to go against Kylan because since he saved Sarah Beth last time, now she's going to save Claire because Claire is her number one ally, apparently. So this is where it gets messy because now Tiffany is going to do her moves to save Claire. So we don't know what's going to happen. Is Derek F going to get voted out? Is he going to be the pawn that goes up as a pawn and gets sent home? I don't know. That's something that we'll find out next episode.
I mean, that's unfortunate if Derek F does go because Tiffany is trying to do something. But even if he does go home, like I feel like the other people are gonna be smarter than that and be like, you know what, this was Tiffany's doing, so now Tiffany is like target number one. And then if Tiffany wins HOH next time, then yeah, everybody's fucking trouble, which is why they have to get rid of Tiffany this round. But you're right, they might not get rid of her. But this is what I'm talking about though. Like Tiffany's already, you say that Kylan's not going to turn on them or whatever. As soon as Kylan finds out what Tiffany's up to, Kylan does not give a fuck. He's going to be like, you know what, Tiffany is trying to come for us. Let's get rid of her now. But now it's really up to Tiffany to see if she's able to cover her tracks and not get herself as the target. I really don't see Kylan up to that. Like you make him seem like he's like this loyal person all the time. I don't see him like that.
I do.
I see Xavier. I can see Xavier doing that. I do not see Kylan doing that. Kylan is smarter than that. I could be wrong though, so we'll see. We this is why it's fun to make these episodes because I could be wrong, but I really don't see Kylan doing that. Like I feel like Kylan is more loyal to Alyssa and Sarah Beth than he is to the Cookout. The Cookout has so many cracks.
I think opposite. It does have a lot of cracks. I do see the cracks in this alliance, but I don't think Kylan is going to be the one that's going to take the shot. I don't see that. So
he might not. He might. I don't know.
Anyways, moving on with the episode. So again, that was the end of the episode. We don't get to see more information until Wednesday, whenever the veto episode happens. Right. So for now, all we have left to do is the rankings.
Right.
So if you want to go first, I will give you the chance to. Okay. I feel like we're going to have arguments during this ranking list. Just because that's how this episode has gone, I feel like we're not going to agree with each other, but go ahead.
Well, that's what they're fun though, because we get to give our opinions on who we think sucks and who we don't. But so it probably doesn't come as a shocker, but Azal is like at the bottom of the list. Like I'm done with her. Like I'm just like, I want Azal gone as soon as I can. Like I feel like I've tried to give her many opportunities to like her, and I'm just like, okay, I want Azal to do something. I want her to change her ways. She's just emotional. She's just very sensitive. She's very jealous. She's very in a different planet. You know what I mean? Like she gets offended because Kylan doesn't give her the win, but yet like she's messy to me. She needs to figure herself out before she even tries to come for anybody. And I'm just like, I'm done with her. So bottom of the list, done with her. Britney is right above her because Britney is the same. Both Britney and Azal, they need to go. I don't see them as winners. If they win this season, I will probably be really upset and like disrespect Big Brother because there's like much better players that can win this season, and Britney and Azar are not it. Claire, same thing. I'm bored with Claire. Claire is kind of giving a promising type of gameplay, but I'm also not impressed by Claire. Like, bored. Tiffany is right up above that because she is trying really hard to get rid of certain people, which I understand. I understand where Tiffany is coming from. I really do. The only thing is that Tiffany is playing a little bit too hard. She's a little bit too paranoid, and she is too mouthy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she shows her emotions too fast, and I'm just like, girl, like, you could have been a little bit smarter about it, but you weren't. So you could have won HOH this time, but you couldn't beat that one last question. Like, that's on you. You can't be mad about that to anybody. Like, that was your fault. Oops. And then after that, we have Hannah. Hannah's kind of in the middle just because Hannah's like, just again, she is weird. Like, she like kind of stirs the pot a little bit, but then she kind of just like becomes like a little fly on the wall. And right now she's like the fly on the wall. So she's like not really being looked at by anybody. She's just kind of there. Same thing with Xavier, who's right up after her. And then we have Derek F and Derek X. I feel like Derek X and Derek F, like they're kind of like trying to solidify themselves in the game, and Derek X has done really well with doing that comp-wise. I feel like Derek F has kind of done that a little bit social-wise. Like, he's kind of expressed where he's at and where he's not at and stuff, and that's good to me. And then the final three, of course, I have Alyssa, Sarah Beth, and Kylan. Like, still, I'm rooting for them. I feel like Alyssa, once again, she could have been the easy target this week because of Christian, but she like disassociated herself from that relationship, and she's just chilling. Sarah Beth, same thing in a sense. Like, Sarah Beth is just kind of like just watching it unfold, because I feel like this episode especially is like about how strong is the Cookout Alliance, and it's not that strong. It's crumbling before our eyes, and it's all because of Kylan. Kylan was kind of like the glue to this alliance. As much as you hate to admit it, Kylan was the glue to this alliance.
I don't know what you're saying about Kylan being the glue when he's not.
He is the glue, because
where he's not.
But but Azal and Tiffany are upset because he didn't give them the win. That's already a big crack. Also, he decided to nominate Derek F. He's literally already lost 3 people from that alliance. All he has is really
he didn't lose Derek F.
But he nominated him.
He didn't lose Derek F.
He nominated
He's a
him.
pawn. He's a pawn. They agreed. Derek F literally agrees. They hug it out and puts him on the block because Derek F agreed. There's no bad blood between them, like, at all. He didn't lose Derek F.
Would you ever agree to be a pawn?
No, but Derek F did. He says, I will do it.
That's all he can do,
straight
though.
up. Okay, but he agreed that there's no bad blood between them. None.
And you believe that? Is this your first season of Big Brother?
No. Derek F is not mad at Kylan. Derek F is not mad at Kylan. You're really wrong there. You're like 100% wrong there. Wow. Let me get to my list because this is just wow. Okay. So last place I have Tiffany. I don't like the way she's playing. I don't like the way she's coming off. Right above that we have Xavier. Again, he threw a comp. Whenever you throw a comp, you lose a lot of points in my book. So you just drop down. Right on top of that is Claire. Just because she's also throwing comps. She tried to save herself this time. It really kind of didn't work. So whatever. 8th place I have Azza. I know that she kind of rubbed you the wrong way. She kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I feel like throwing comps is a little bit worse than the way she made me feel. So she's still above them. Hannah, again, like you said, she's kind of in the middle because she does make moves and then she knows when to step back. I don't know what she's going to do next. Right above that, we have Britney. Britney is a little overdramatic. She got a little overdramatic whenever she got the 100 points from America. Right. But there's worse people than her in the house, so she's in the middle. Fifth place, we have Derek X. Derek X, he's starting to go back up on my list because, I mean, he obviously did not nominate Sarah Beth, but he is also playing a very fantastic game.
Yeah.
So I was mad at him because of what he did, but now he's going back up. Above that, we have Derek F. He also gained points for me because he's starting to play his own game. He's breaking apart from Britney. He's kind of trying to break apart from Ozza because he knows that they're emotional and
Right.
they could potentially sink him. So he's looking at things differently. Alyssa's growing on me. She started to become one of my favorites just because she's not in the Cookout Alliance, but she isn't as good as Kylan and Sarah Beth, which is why Kylan is second place. I do thank him a lot for not nominating Sarah Beth and for sticking on her side. But unfortunately, Sarah Beth is my favorite, so she is still first place.
Okay. I mean, I like that we still have the top three as like a common thing because they are the best ones so far. Like they have the best social game, they have the best comp game. I'm still waiting for Alyssa or Sarah Beth to win HOH because it's like, okay, girls, like it's time. Like Kylan's already won 2. If you guys go into the final with him, like you guys need to have that resume built up a little bit. Like especially Alyssa. Like Alyssa hasn't won anything, and she said it so like she said in some episodes, she's like, I'm just tired of like getting so close to winning, but I haven't won anything. And it's like, yeah, you need to win at least one comp so that way you can kind of like just solidify herself. Sarah Beth too, in a sense, because she won that one challenge like at the beginning of the season, but she hasn't really won anything after that. So like both of them have to like amp it up a little bit just to kind of like make them more memorable. Because like this episode, I felt like it's kind of like Kylan was like given the HOH in a way, because even when he was just like answering the questions, he was getting them right. And like it was just like, okay, he was just moving on to the next challenge. Then when he tried to throw the challenge, Tiffany fucked it up. Just like, oh, okay, well, fuck me then. Like, I'm just gonna be an HOH again. Like, if it's that easy for him, then we can't hate him on that. Like, he won that fair and square.
Right. But for now, like we said, the next episode is going to be the veto episode, which is on Wednesday. Right. For now, we have discussed and spilled the tea on this episode. So now we just wait.
Yep. So we shall find out until next time.
Till next time.